Okay, so here's some examples of lines, and we're going to figure out how steep they are using our new words, rise over run. And M stands for the word slope. So we're going to measure how steep. I'm going to start saying this, how steep a roof is, because you can see roofs are different steepness. And so a line is always going to be straight, and the slope is not going to change. So these dots could be anywhere, but they should be the same, okay? So what you'll notice is, number 1, we have it on graph paper. 2, we have it on graph paper, but 3 and 4, I took the graph paper off. Please understand they're still on graph paper, I just didn't want to draw them. So, what is the slope of number 1? Well, you want to find 2 numbers. You want to find how far it goes up and how much it goes to the right. And so, this green line right here is telling me that this dot to this dot is going up 1 square. And it's going to the right 4 squares. A lot of kids will see the 5 and they'll put a 5 here, but no, it's right here at 4. So it goes to the right 4. Well, that's your slope. The rise is 1 and the run is 4. And you have a slope of 1 over 4. Now, understand that the dots could be here. And so that it would, once again, go up 1 and to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the kids start to like, oh wow, it does that the whole way? Like, yes, the slope of a line does not change as it goes on forever in both directions. Okay? So we start making stairs, and I get the kids to understand that slope is the stairs when we start using the algebra. Okay? So let's see if we can find the stairs for number 2. Number 2, we have this green hash. It's going down 1. I should have made that green. And then 1, that's the rise, it's actually going down. And then the run is 3, 1, 2, 3. And the last thing is, realize that it's going downhill. If you remember me talking about the bald guy walking down the line, it's actually going down 1 floor and to the right 3. And so you should have a slope of negative 1/3. And that's the answer to number 2. Now, not to confuse you guys, but because they're fractions, sometimes you have to reduce the fractions or divide them depending. So the rise for this guy, number 3, happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And the run happens to be 2. So when you find the slope of this guy, you wind up with 4 on top, because that's the rise, and 2 because that's the run. And then hopefully your teacher has explained, which we haven't too much with fractions. So this is really 4 divided by 2. This is a good answer, it's not wrong. But another teacher might ask you to go ahead and divide 4 divided by 2, and that gives you a slope of just 2, which is another good answer. Both of these are good answers, okay? Now, if you had a different line, it might wind up being, I don't want to confuse you yet. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. 4 divided by 2 is 2. These are both good answers. You got the rise and the run. Okay? Here, what's the rise? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the rise. So I'm going to put a 5 on top. Am I doing, yes, the green is the rise. And then the purple is the run. And so we just have a slope of 5 over 1. Unfortunately, this rise is actually going downhill. And so this line is actually going downhill. So this answer of 5 over 1 would wind up being reduced to a negative 5. And kids seem to understand, where'd the 1 go? Well, just like we did up here where you take the top and divide it by the bottom. What's 5 divided by 1, guys? It's 5. And so we do have negative 5 divided by 1. Both of these are good answers. That's a good answer, and that's a good answer. Okay? Here, can you tell me if the slope is positive or negative? I start doing that. Don't worry about the numbers, but can you tell if it's a positive slope or a negative slope? Well, this guy is definitely, if you put him on the left arrow, is walking downhill. Boom. Negative. And then it's going down 3 and to the right 4. And you guys knock it out. This last one, positive or negative slope, it looks like it's positive because the left arrow is over here. Kids are like, I can't tell which one's the left. I'm like, dude, just cut it in half, the line. And this arrow is actually more on the left than this arrow. But kids always get that confused. So there's my little bold guy. He's gonna definitely walk uphill. This is a very steep line. This isn't something you're gonna drive, something that's like a cliff. So it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the slope, the rise is 6, and the run is 1. Guess what 6 divided by 1 is? Slope is equal to 6. Both good answers, but on a multiple choice test, you'll be looking for that one. I hope this made sense. God bless. Keep trying.